The Entrepreneurial Journey podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen, grab your seat, let's have a blast. At the Entrepreneurial Journey podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey podcast. Today I have Cienna Kopischke. Is that right? Am I pronouncing it right, Cienna?
That's okay. It's Cienna Kopischke.
Kopischke. Okay, Kopischke. I will get there. I think two things that have stumbled us this morning. One, our technical stuff wasn't working very well. And two, I realized that you are in the USA. You're in Virginia, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Yeah. So it's 9:45 here in the morning in the UK. What time is it there in Virginia?
It is now 4:51 a.m.
Okay. So you're crazy for getting up
Love it.
that early to do a podcast interview. But there's a reason for it. And the reason actually builds beautifully into your business story. Why are you up so early, Cienna?
Yeah, I'm a mom. So my son he's 1 and he is currently sleeping. So it just makes sense for me to work in the way early mornings or really late at night.
Sure. And
Yeah.
that was literally the birth of your business, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, my son is my whole world. It's a very long story,
Go
but
for it.
long story short, during my pregnancy, I was diagnosed with a condition called hyperemesis gravidarum. And for anyone listening that doesn't know what that is, it is a condition that makes you vomit uncontrollably a lot. And so I was vomiting 120 times a day for 9 months straight. It was a very hard time in my life. And during that season of my life, I was hospitalized almost 13 times and I only weighed 70 pounds. So my body was not able to hold any food or, any nourishment. I was really, really, really thin and was really worried about whether or not I would make it or not. And so after my son was born, I kind of needed to figure out how do I pivot my life because I did have a business prior to my son. I've been in business total and entrepreneur for 5 years now. But when it comes to my son, or during my pregnancy, I should say, I wasn't able to do my business anymore. And as a result, I lost everything that I had worked so hard on and for. And so I really had to start over. And that's where I started the Mommy Agency when my son was only 1 month old.
I mean, well done. Okay. Well done for surviving.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And well done for bouncing back. I mean, that, your first child having been that ill, and your baby being only 1 month old, the last thing on most people's minds is, I know, I'll start another business. It's really not high on the agenda, is it? What
Right.
was it that made you do that? It's unusual.
Yeah. I think for me, it really came down to I needed to make income because my husband was the only provider, but obviously because I had a job prior to getting pregnant, we had a 2-income household and we had just bought our house. And so it was just a really unfortunate timing of me getting so sick. And so with the mortgage, the bills piling up and us having to really figure out how we're going to survive financially, it just became a lot. I was very fortunate that I have amazing family members and my grandparents were able to pay some of our bills that, we were not able to pay during that time. And I'm very transparent about this because I feel like at some point in every person's life, we all struggle with financial issues, right? And this was my time. And I had just gotten married. I just bought a house. My life was just starting. I just got pregnant. We were having a baby and it just, everything was piling on and I needed to make money and I didn't want to go back to work to a corporate job, only because my worry was who's going to take care of the baby and is it going to be cost effective I'm not really sure how it works in the UK, but I know here where I live, it is extremely expensive to have somebody else watch your child while you go to work.
Yeah.
And it almost cancels out the amount of money you're making. So it made no sense for me to work for someone else. And I said, well, I need to work while also taking care of my child and being a stay-at-home mom. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's really expensive here. So many women have to give up work to pay for childcare. And you're right. If they have a support network of their parents, the children's grandparents or carers or friends or family, then they're okay, just about. And they can maybe go back part-time. But it's really, really tough. And I know in the States you don't have much maternity benefits or anything like that.
Correct.
So yeah, it is hard. Even I think if you're self-employed in the UK, I think you get some maternity pay. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I mean, it's like tiny. It's enough for, a few bags of nappies and maybe a coffee. It's not, you can't live off it, put it that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So you sent me some pictures and your boy is just gorgeous. He is lovely. So I'm not surprised he's your world. And I'm assuming he's fit and healthy because babies kind of take the nutrients from the mom, don't they?
Yeah, he is he was born perfectly fine. Nothing was wrong with him. I was just the one clearly dying.
And I'm assuming the sickness just stopped as soon as he was born, did it?
Yeah. So I had never heard of hyperemesis gravidarum prior to being diagnosed with it. It was really, really challenging. But the day that I gave birth, I had to have an emergency C-section because I was not capable of pushing. And when they took me away, they took him away. And then I wasn't able to hold my baby for 5 hours after giving birth. I was on just so much medication and drugs. I was so out of it. And I still was puking by the time I had woken up. I don't think I stopped until the day after I gave birth.
Right. Okay.
And that's when it the doctors say that the puking after giving birth really came from the medication that I was on. Which I find to be very interesting, but I'm not really sure because I had been sick for so long. So I think my body just was still used to, letting things go.
Well, you're right up there with the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, because that's what she experiences with her pregnancies. I don't think it's quite as severe as the one you had, but you're up there with royalty, Cienna.
I never thought I would be compared to royalty.
There you go. Right. Let's talk about your business. So the Mummy Agency, what do you do and who do you serve?
Yeah, so we have pivoted a little bit. So when I first started the Mommy Agency, I was a social media management agency. And that's really where the name came from. I helped my clients with their social media marketing. But I think through that experience, I started to recognize that there is more to business than just social media. And I am on a mission to really empowering women to grow their businesses from all standpoints. And also let's just be really honest, there's so many people who think that the only way to grow their business is through social media. And social media can be a lot. It is extremely time consuming. It is hard. And there are other ways to realistically grow your business if social media isn't for you. And I started to realize that some of my clients were struggling with growing their business. Yes, their socials were impressive and amazing because my team and I handled it. And so I pivoted to business coaching, which is where I am now. And I love it so much better because I'm really able to get deep into helping my client grow their business from the inside out.
Great.
And that has been so impactful and just something that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, it is. And as you know, that's what we do. And we train other business coaches and consultants to do that.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think if you come at it so the social media is an element, it's a piece of the jigsaw, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I came to business coaching because I started with leadership development and realized that I was sorting the leaders out, but there was a whole load of other areas of the business that really needed sorting out.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you were probably much the same with social media. This is great, but
Right.
actually there's a ton of stuff over there that's not working.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when we really look at that, right, like what does that mean? So
Yeah.
social media is a wonderful tool, right? If you are growing your business through Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, I really also want anyone listening to really consider other factors such as what does the copy of your website look like if you are pushing people to your website, right? What does the copy of your, even what you're communicating on Instagram look and feel like? How is that resonating with other people? Are you really talking and touching on their pain points and their struggles and the way that you are going to be able to help them navigate through this journey? And I think when we think about messaging and copy and functionality of our onboarding systems, those things play such a huge part, and your social media can look amazing and fantastic, but it is nothing if it doesn't drive more traffic to your business.
Absolutely. And that traffic has to turn into dollars.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. So what kind of clients, you said you're very sort of female focused. What kind of
Yes.
clients and businesses do you work with?
So I want to preface by saying I do take on male clients on occasion. I'm not gender specific. However, many of my clients, I only have 2 male clients, so the rest are all women. I handle service-based providers. So anyone who offers a service to someone else, I am learning and trying to learn more about product-based businesses. But that just right now is not my area of expertise.
Yeah, it's good to know your area of expertise, and it's good
Yeah.
to stay in your lane. And what I say to our coaches, because they always start off trying to do everything for everyone,
Yeah.
is that actually if you stick with what you know and what you're good at, the other stuff comes eventually. And you kind of apply those skills. But you're right, service and product-based businesses are very, very different. And what amazes me is that a lot of businesses don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
One of the first conversations that we have is, are you a product-led or a service-led business? And most
Right.
people go, oh, I don't know, I've not thought about that. Do you come across that?
Not really.
Okay.
I think because of how my messaging is targeted to my clients, my ideal clients, I will say if you are helping someone in some capacity, just for anyone who may be confused on whether or not you are a product-led business or a service-led business, if you are physically offering a service. So for example, that service could be cleaning someone's house, it could be social media management, it could be copywriting. There's so many services. Wedding planning is a service.
Yeah.
If you are providing a service, you are helping someone with something by doing the work for them, then you are a service-led or service-based business. Vice versa, if you are physically shipping something, or if they have to physically download something and that's where your money and your revenue is coming from in your business, then that makes you a product-led business owner or a product-based business owner.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's clear, but a lot of people don't think it's clear, definitely. All right. And where do you take them from? So when they come on board, typically in kind of what shape are they? And where do they end up?
Yeah. So I think from a standpoint of me providing value, right? I think for a lot of people, if you were looking at business coaching in general, the very first place that you should start in your own business is going to be understanding your products and your offers. So whether that is what you physically sell, or if that is a service, right? Whatever it is that you are selling, how you make money, I think you really need to visit that. And I always tell people this is the first step, whether you're working with me on a one-on-one basis or you're doing this on your own or with another coach. Really, you should be able to identify, what am I doing? Who am I helping? what am I helping them with? What do I provide, right? Answer those 3 questions for yourself. And then on top of that, what is the price point that in which you are offering that at? And I think you need to also go a little bit step further and look at what is the price positioning in the market. So for example, if there are other people who are let's say you're a wedding planner and you are a local wedding planner, so you only work with people in your city or state. You really are going to want to look at what other wedding planners are pricing themselves at, right? And how much work is going into that. So not just the pricing, but what is the deliverables that are associated with said pricing? And do you offer those same deliverables? And are you in a competitive range? And so that's where I start with my clients. If my clients work with me one-on-one, but again, if you are not working with a coach or you're trying to do this on your own, that's where you should start. After you have nailed down who you serve and what it is that you serve them with, and of course your pricing, then I think after that, it's time to really focus in on where you want to get visible. Getting visible is an extremely important pivot or something that you should be looking at in your business, right? And this is really going to depend on you as the business owner. So there are multiple ways that you can get visible and increase your visibility. Now, I do want to say visibility does not equal sales, right? It can lead to sales, but visibility in and of itself is not sales, but it's just as important. So visibility is things like your marketing. Are you marketing on LinkedIn? Are you marketing on Instagram? Are you marketing on Facebook? Where are you marketing your business, right? Are you marketing on the radio or is it television? There are different types of media. So that's going to be really crucial and important for you to look at. Other ways to get visible is appearing on podcasts as guests, obviously, like I am today with Miss Rebecca, which is amazing. And you can also do blog guesting. My favorite thing that I do is I also appear on Instagram lives with others. That's been very helpful for my brand. I go to a lot of virtual networking calls. Again, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I can't leave my house as much as I would like. Sometimes if I can find a babysitter, but we are a military family, so we are very far from my family and my husband's family.
Okay.
And so as a result, I just hop on Zoom calls with other business owners and I network. That has been very important for my brand and for my business. And that's something that I teach my clients to do as well. Connect with more people, get in front of more people, right? And really build relationships because that's going to be important. You can obviously always sell, but that isn't the best way to go about your business. And it's just very icky. Instead, you should always look to provide value and meet people because you never know if that person could refer business to you or if you can even refer business to them, right? It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way road. So get visible. So come up with your visibility plan. And then the last part of this would be to come up with your sales plan. So how specifically are you going to take those visibility strategies and turn them into sales? And I can talk about that all day.
Yeah, there's so much in that, Cienna. First of all, really interesting that if you're part of a military family, does that mean you have to move around a fair bit?
Yeah, we move around a lot. Yeah. I actually
Okay.
moved in my second trimester of my pregnancy.
Yeah, like superwoman. Okay. So all right. So I hear from our coaches and consultants, I only live in a small town. There aren't that many businesses around me. Or I'm just new to the country. I've just moved here or whatever. And time and time again, I come across people like you who are doing this under the circumstances that are not traditionally ideal for establishing a business. But now we have so many opportunities to work from anywhere. So your clients, are they scattered all over the US or all over the world? Where are they?
I have clients all over the world. I mean, I even have clients in the UK as well, which is really amazing. I love being able to reach people on a global scale because I believe that every person deserves to have a business coach in their pocket that is accessible to them. And you know what? It works out because, like I said, I'm up. It's 5 o'clock in the morning now, right? I'm up. It's what time is it for you? Is it noon?
It's now 10:15. Well, 10 past 10. Yeah.
Okay, see? So it works out because my baby is sleeping, right? And so
Yeah.
I'm able to do things like this. I'm able to chat with my clients. I've had many meetings at 4 o'clock in the morning, my time with clients. And I love it. I love it so much. I don't regret it at all.
Wow. You're amazing. What time do you have to go to bed?
I go to bed every night at 10 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're
Yeah.
up at 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah. Not every day, but some
Right.
days. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. You are Wonder Woman, definitely. There's no doubt about it. So this is a real lesson. I love the simple way that you've broken these areas down for people.
Right.
Because they come to business and go, oh, it's too much, it's overwhelming. But it sounds like you've broken them down into really nice bite-sized chunks.
Yeah.
Step by step, holding their hand, which is important. Right. And I think you probably bring a huge amount of clarity for people.
Yeah. I definitely do. Oh, sorry.
No, go on. You say what you were going to say, and then I'll ask my next question.
So sorry. I definitely do. I think one of the biggest things is I have a lot of clients that come to me and they're like, Cienna, I worked with another business coach before working with you. And even actually yesterday is a perfect example. I have a brand new one-on-one client that started with me yesterday. And she has been working with this other coach, but this other coach has only been communicating with her through Voxer. And so it's like a walkie-talkie app for anyone who is not familiar. And that's how I communicate. You know, okay, yeah. That's actually how I work with a lot of my clients. So this way I can work while I'm at the playground or the park with my child. It has been very beneficial. They just send me a voice note and it plays out loud in my phone, and then I can send voice notes back right at my convenience. I love it so much. And so this particular client, her previous coach would respond to her 3 or 4 hours after she sent her a message. But would never provide any clarity. And so one of the biggest things that she had been struggling with is how to price her services.
Yeah.
And she told me last night, we had our first call, and she said, you know, Cienna, my previous coach told me to price my services based on how I feel.
No.
And I was so confused. But, you know, this isn't for me to bash the other coach, right? Like, this is another woman who runs her business in a very different way than I do. The way that I teach my clients to grow and scale their business is really not based on feelings, but more so based on information. So if you have a product, right, you're going to price your product based off of what does it cost to ship? What does it cost to physically make that product? The same way, if you have a service-based business, what does your overhead look like, right? Like, there are lights on in my office right now. How much is this costing me per hour that I'm working with my client? How much time is allotted to my clients? All of these things need to be factored into your pricing, and it really should not be a feeling. And so I'll be very transparent. The way that I do things is we have step by step, like, we're going to do this today, and then we're going to work on this next week, and then that. And I think even if you weren't working with me or with another coach and you want to do this on your own and you're listening and you want to, you know, figure out how to grow your business on your own, I will say really take it in those bite-sized pieces. Otherwise, you are going to overwhelm yourself and burn out. And when you go about growing and scaling your business and figuring out that plan for your business, I really want you guys to go about it in a way where you are not coming at it from a desperate point of view. Like, I need to make more money. I need to make more money. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to cloud your judgment and you're not going to be able to properly grow your business. So take a step back and look at your business from a different filter and only look at it based off of facts and what is there.
Yeah. Brilliant advice. Absolutely brilliant. So where are you taking your business? Where's the mommy agency heading?
Yeah, I think we might rebrand to Cienna Kopischke Coaching instead of the mommy agency in the future. I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
But just because I don't know if that name resonates anymore as much as it slightly does, right? Because I still have
Yeah.
my son, yeah, obviously. But I think for me right now, I'm in a place where I'm very happy with the right now. And I feel like you don't hear a lot of business owners talk about the right now. As much as I would love to plan for my future endeavors, um, I love what I do. I love servicing the women and men, I should add, that I do. And it's been so incredible to watch my clients grow
Yeah.
sustainably.
Yeah. It's really fulfilling, isn't it? I think it's one
Yeah.
of the best jobs in the world. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
great. Yeah, and there's something to be said for being content with where you are now at your different life stages too. You know, your son's one. Is he up and about and
Yeah,
crawling and walking?
he's running.
Oh, crikey. Right. Okay. Okay.
I
Fun
can't
and
keep up.
games. No. So yeah, there's a limit to what you can do to build your business while your son is
Yeah,
at that stage. Maybe
right.
that'll change when he goes to school.
Yeah,
Because you'll have sort of daytime hours available to you that you didn't have before. I know certainly for my business, I really kind of kept it quite low key for about 10 years because
mhm,
my kids were growing up. The two older ones left, and I suddenly had headspace. And I
yeah,
thought, right, I'm going to go for this and grow something really big. Still got one at home, but she's a teenager, so it's okay.
yeah.
She needs me less. She just needs me for cash most of the time.
I love that.
Cash and my makeup brushes. Who knew? So yeah, it's definitely horses for courses. It's the stage you're at. Okay, so Cienna, I want to ask you, if your business had a personality or a character, how would you describe it?
I love that. Oh, this is so good. A personality or a character?
Hmm.
This is a hard question.
I know. That's why I leave it till last. To kind of get you all warmed up, lulled into a false sense of security, and then go wham.
Wham, yeah, I feel it. Okay. I think if my business had a personality, it is very, I would say that she's warm, very inviting, very um like it's just a very welcoming energy that I my business uh, gives off.
Yeah.
Your question really stumped me.
It's my
um,
killer Columbo question. Okay. I
but
love yeah, carry on.
no,
Carry
I was
on.
just going to say, like, if I had to think about how my clients describe their interactions with me, it's very inviting. They always say
Mm,
that every time they leave a conversation with me, that they feel so supported.
mm,
And sometimes we don't even talk about business. Sometimes we talk about the hard things, like,
mm,
clients going through divorces or life stages, right? Kids growing up and moving out
mm.
of the house, or which I don't fully have experience with, but I have clients that, right?
Yeah,
All of these things. So we talk about personal life too. And your personal life plays a huge part in your business.
of course. Yeah, of course. We are a support mechanism for
Yeah.
businesses and their business owners without a shadow of a doubt. And one of the questions I ask my clients, my owners, is how are you feeling? Are you actually all right?
Yeah.
Um,
That's a
and
good one.
yeah, they can't always talk about that at a board meeting or with their peers, and sometimes with their own. And it's not appropriate necessarily to talk about that at home all the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're often there going, do you know, it's okay, everything's going to be okay,
Yeah.
promise.
That is true. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Right, well, I feel the warmth,
Well,
definitely. And I certainly can understand and appreciate how your clients feel very supported.
yeah.
And what I would also add, Cienna, is you have a really lovely non-judgmental approach,
Hmm.
which
Thank you.
shines through, and it really shines through that you're very genuine about this and genuinely want to help.
Thank
And
you. Yes.
it's remarkable. I'm going to watch your progress with great interest.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
No problem at all. Listen, thank you so much for getting up so early to talk to me. I just think that's amazing. And I wish you all the best with your business.
Thank you.
I don't know what happened there, Cienna.
That's okay.
We just need to say goodbye. Goodbye, Cienna.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for listening, everybody. Did you know at TriCrest, we've built a kick-ass culture, coach and consultant program. So if you're a business coach or consultant and you're looking for something new, add to your toolbox, or even escape the 9-to-5, join us at our next event. Links in the information on the podcast. See you there.
The Entrepreneurial Journey podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's